There's a couple of things that I've learnt since being in academia. One is the media is not your friend at all. And although I've got friends who are journalists, and it's a necessary thing to have in the security industry, they're not your friend. And I think people have to remember that in the industry. Second is, it's important to understand that we have an adversarial legal system. It is not a search for the truth, it's about the better argument. The only obligation that lawyers have is to represent their client, which from an ethical point of view is called teleological. It means the ends justify the means. You do whatever you have to do to serve the interests of your client. The problem with investigation work or security work is it comes from a different ethical position where the ends don't justify the means and never can. So you've got a legal system that is complex and it's not about a search for the truth. And then you've got police that are paid from the public purse. They have an obligation to the public and they're a social contract, they're not a business. And then you have security that is paid from the private sector and they have an obligation to the person who pays their wages. And there's different obligations. One's about dealing with an issue, for example, without costing the company too much money. And from a police point of view, it's a social contract where it's about doing some risk analysis, but it's about putting the matters before the court and letting the courts decide. We can't have unrealistic expectations that we can actually stop things, like we can stop the Link Cafe or we can stop a shooting. All we can do is manage things the best that we can and withstand scrutiny of a group of people like lawyers that are never accountable themselves. It's an industry that's very exciting, but it's an industry that requires a lot of understanding in order to make it work.